The thing about racism, it lasts a long time. It still is today. It it, it just lasts. It goes on and on and on. And I don't know where's what's the stopping point? I guess until the earth no longer exists. Mm, I think we're going backwards.
I think it's going back to where it was.
I'm afraid.
I think it could be better. Uh, if more individuals learn how to love than to hate. And I look at that and how in the world can you hate somebody because of their skin color?
Well, on the national level, it's obvious that one former president is president. Nowhere to get around.
Things are like they're trying to do white supremacy, and not white supremacy, but white male dominance over everybody.
And he, in my opinion, would turn the clock backwards. I believe he would turn the clock totally backwards if he could.
How in the world can you hate somebody about what's been told to you and you don't even know that individual? How in the world can you hate somebody and still say I'm a child of God?
With the way these people that we're putting in offices that are making these laws, they can take you right back to where we fought so hard to come from. And that it doesn't make sense that in the year of 2023, that they're doing the very same things that they was doing in 69, in 64, 65. The very same thing.
We're pretty much back to square one, a segregated school system, pretty much. And that's pretty much universal, I want to say universal. Certainly in the South, and I wouldn't be surprised if not in other regions of the country as well.
Most of the whites move out in those suburbs, and then they build schools out there for them, where we're in the city, and a lot of the people in the city can't afford those houses, so that makes it predominant. Valdosta High School predominantly Black, Lowndes County, Lowndes High predominantly white.
You see Black superintendents of schools now because the school system is predominantly Black, and whites have migrated out of the city and the cities, and your elected board members are the majority now are Black, so yes, it's still a matter of race.
You can see some things are blatant, but most cases institutional. We're talking about in our finances when we have to go to the bank to get a loan. You're talking about real estate agents who would like to steer us toward the Black community when we're looking for a piece of property. All that stuff still exists.
You might get into the clique for a minute, but if you don't come up to their expectation, you're gonna lose that. Okay, so it's designed to keep a certain group up here and a certain group down here to support this group up here.
It is better than it was, but there is a long line of ways that it could be much better.
Things that's happening now, they need to turn themselves back and ask the Lord for help, because things now is too upsetting for the world to continue to grow.
Things are still going on now that that I'm just ashamed about. Because I know other countries are watching us from afar, and I'm just blown away by the audacity.
With Trump's rhetoric and so many people are for Trump, it's like we're just going backwards, in my opinion. It's just, I just don't understand how they have all that faith in him and they know exactly what he's doing.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what the slogan, let's make America great again, what that's all about. Uh, there are those who may pretend that it's not, but it is.
They just want to push you aside, back like when it was back in the 1800s when white men dominated everything. And that's what they're trying to get to. About the only thing, if they could put back in slavery, I believe they would.
And we have progress along with that, but it's still not the same. And I can tell you, as being a nurse, I have worked with people that come under me that I have trained, and they'll make 30 or 40 cents more than I would per hour.
Until the attitude of the people change, you're going to always have this. You're going to have this separate. It ain't going to be equal, but you're going to have separate.
Same place it was in 1930. Just camouflage, like I told you one time. It's like a cardboard box which you put icing over it, and it looks like a cake, but it ain't a cake. The same. That's the same. It's still racist. It's still everything it's always been. Even though the black, the brown, the green, and everybody got good educations and everything is going. And now that few little nuclear group is still trying to hold on to that power, that supreme power that I'm greater. It's losing it day by day, and they are tripping like dogs.
But I don't care what nobody say. You're going to see some of what you see down in here, you're going to see there too. I don't care where you go in the United States, you're going to find some. I don't care where you go in the country or the world, you still going to find some of that. Okay? So my thing is that it's just a matter of you being constantly able to make adjustments and deal with life.
They are tripping big time. They're losing it. Like Donald Trump. He's losing it so bad, and I really, deep within, I feel sorry for him.
And what that says to me is that either the supporters are just like him, or he's doing what they want him to do. And that's scary. That's very scary.
Even if he know he's not trying to go back to win, he don't want to be the president, but he know once I get there, my job is to divide this country.
Yeah.
But it's going to even be
worse.
It's going to be divided even worse than now.
There were some people, some whites that I heard say that they voted for Obama, but then, and see, they tied his hands. Then they couldn't, they were so outdone by how that turned out, they decided to jump from Obama to Trump. I said, now, how did you come up with that?
I think we're still a young nation. 200 or 300 years is nothing compared to Germany and France and Russia. These places have been established AD.
I told some of my white friends who are lawyers, they say, I can't believe it. And they were talking about, well, Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump is that. I say, well, boy, we can't believe that he's the nominee, And then he became president. I said, well, it says more about this country than it does about Donald Trump, and it really does.
but let's make America great again. I don't think he really understood what he was actually saying, what he was actually posting. I still think he just want to be out there showing I'm an actor.
It says that we have yet to get to that promised land that Martin Luther King talked about. We haven't arrived yet. And when I say we as a people have not arrived, this country has not arrived yet.
And I think it's going to take generations and generations of individuals to grow before we can really be comfortable with one another.
Race relations will never change. You know why? It could. Don't get me wrong, it could. But you got to want to change. You got to want to change. And that's the problem right there. People don't want to change.
It's who America is formed on. And it's getting worse because now the white kids don't know who they are, the black kids don't know who they are, the red kids don't know who they are. Everybody's just, like I say, they're like the children, going back to the children in Israel, where they were running around in the wilderness.
We've got some growing pains going on here. And when you find someone like our number 45, for example, who wants to turn back the time, and he does all these things that would spark confusion and misinformation, where people are so confused they don't really know the gains that we've made over the years. They dismiss all of that. We've been set back somewhat, but I do believe we'll overcome it.
Social media is the worst thing that could have ever happened, but in a good way, it has allowed people to express themselves and be themselves. And what that has done for me, it has allowed me to see you for who you are instead of what I thought you was.
I think we've had plenty of time, but given some time, we'll get together. We'll connect. And a lot of that old mentality, it's slowly going away, but I think it's going away really slower than faster than it should be.
That's the scary part because of people that you have been around, you never would have thought that they had those views based on the way they were.
It just goes back to past history with white people, that black people will never be equal to them. They will always do what they can to keep us down. We have to fight and fight hard to accomplish what we have. So it's just, I say it's just systemic. Just so. That's the way they could see us as second-class citizens, and I think they're going to always see us as second-class citizens. And it's just a fight every day to say, I'm just as good as you are. My skin color has nothing to do with what's in my brain.
I'm a true believer in the word. So I am at ease with the way things are, because at some point, the good master is going to play that, not the checkerboard. He's going to move whatever is necessary to keep man in his place.
I'm optimistic to the point that I know that things have changed for the better for years. You know, you got to know that things are better than it was for our parents.
Right now, I'm at the point where I'm doing a lot of praying and hoping that people will wake up and see what's right and what's wrong, and have that feeling in their hearts and their souls and their spirits. And just to know whether you're black or white,
Yes.
you need to teach the young people to work together, keep our country going.
I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there. And the reason I do is I think it's part of God's plan.
I ask the Lord to let his will be done. And he loves us all. He wants us, I think, to live together and to love each other and to protect each other. And if that's his will, it's going to happen, regardless of who doesn't like it, you know.
You can't be on top of everything over everybody forever. And that's the whole thing. They see the shift. They can't control the shift. And you're not going to control it. You're not going to. So